Hey everybody, we are back and we are with episode. We are on episode 47. Because you pissed me off before we started.
47.
Boring. That's what I thought you were going to say. I was like, what are you talking about? We are on episode 47,
47.
and we're in the home stretch for our 1 year anniversary. So technically we started on January 4th.
Yeah.
But when we hit episode 52, that's 1 year's worth of episodes.
Sick.
Ooh, ooh. Maybe we'll do two.
It makes me feel really, really, really proud of myself.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know. And you've been getting a lot of comments lately
I appreciate that.
that have said he has grown so much from
I
episode
appreciate
1.
those comments too. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's
they
awesome.
help so much. You have no idea.
It's all keeps me going, guys.
You have no idea.
No, I'm proud of you too, honey. That's
Thanks.
awesome. But before we get started,
Yes.
here we go. Secret handshake. And guess what? So, fun
Chicken butt.
fact. Yes, chicken butt. Fun fact, if you didn't know already, Spotify is now including video.
Yeah.
So, not that they didn't include video before, but we couldn't monetize it. So, we'd rather just put it on YouTube and, get some more traction. Plus, lots more people watch YouTube. But now, Podcast for Creators is allowing, literally, they're trying to replace YouTube. It's pretty cool.
They're trying to compete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I know Spotify, they're trying to take them out, right?
Yeah.
Cut them off at the knees.
Yeah, but I think YouTube's in too deep, man.
I don't know. Let the people talk. What do you guys think? Because think about this. Spotify this is what Spotify now has.
Sure.
They have music. They have audiobooks. They have podcasts. They have the trifecta. They have it all in one shop.
Yeah,
So,
there's no doubt. There's no doubt.
No.
Yeah.
So get this. So think about Meghan Trainor, right? Sweetheart. Love you, Meghan. She's a mega superstar, right? A pop star. Her and her brother have her brother and her husband have a podcast, right? And she wrote a book. So if people only have to go to one place
Sure.
for all of her stuff,
Yeah.
why wouldn't they?
Sure. I agree.
They're so
agree.
smart. Spotify,
Yeah, I
so
agree.
smart.
The only thing I see is the difference is YouTube's for free.
No, but
YouTube's for free, man.
it is for free.
That's what that's the big difference.
But get this. So Spotify is, if you have a premium account, which is a paid account, you don't have to listen to any more mid-roll ads.
Correct. That's right.
Right?
They took them out.
I don't know about you, but we're still talking about doing an episode on things that make you irrationally angry. And that, you're like watching a great video, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey guys, look at my soap. You can use it on your hair and in your pits, like whatever, and you're like, what the hell? And then you got to wait, and you're like 5, 4. And people like me who have adult onset ADHD, oh man, that makes me irrationally angry.
I was just gonna imitate one of the ads that I see a lot that cuts off a lot of.
Let's hear it.
I don't know if it's true, but it's a guy and he's on a plane and he looks super young and he's just it's a voiceover as they're filming him and he goes, "Want to know how 4-year-old or he's a super young guy, like I think he said he was 22, became a millionaire." And then fast forward, it shows he sells it's like a loofah and you can wash your face with it and it clears your pores. And he created that, and now he's a millionaire. But that's like the one I see. I don't know if you've seen that one.
No.
It's always on, and I see it. Like I'm sure you guys have seen it. It's like on all the time. It cuts out everything
Okay.
that I watch.
So does that make you irrationally angry when
Of
you
course,
see that ad?
of course.
Okay.
I remember the whole ad. I mean, I've seen it a million times.
Jesus Christ. So listen. So this is not a paid advertisement.
No.
We just went. I went to a creator event at Spotify the other day, and the creators of Spotify, they're from Germany, and I don't know if they're brothers or best friends or what, but or business partners, but they came out and they were explaining everything, and it was really cool.
The actual creators of Spotify.
Yeah.
Wow.
The owners and co-creators of
That's
Spotify
very
came
cool.
out.
I didn't know that.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
And they talked about having almost like when you have shorts or reels, like shorts are on YouTube, reels are on IG. They can do the same thing. So now I tested it out last night with this newest episode that's out, and it allowed me to just upload a quick reel onto Spotify. So when you go, so if you're just now finding our podcast, maybe you looked at the little clip that I put out there and then you're like, let me click it and see. I don't know. It's supposed to drive people to your page. So I'm going to have my assistant upload all 46. Well, technically 45 because I did 46. So 1 through 45, put a reel up or whatever they're calling it. I forget what they're calling it. But
that's cool.
Anyway, the reason why I brought that up is because I always say, and for those of you who are on Spotify who don't watch the video, go over to YouTube. Now you can go wherever you want.
Wherever you want.
It's pretty cool. So we shall see.
Yeah.
But we're going to start a new thing today. Okay, before I tell you guys what the topic is.
Yeah, we're switching gears here.
Yes, we are going to, I'm going to read a couple of things that we got. I mean, we get so many DMs all the time. So I clip some of them when I remember oh, let me, what do you call it? Screenshot this and let me pull it up. So I'm going to read a couple. I'm not going to name names, but if this is you, go ahead and drop your name in the comment section. But I thought these were really cool because when we read these, it's like we get rejuvenated.
Big time.
Right? Sometimes you're like, oh man, this video is not doing as well as the other ones do. But then that video prompted someone to send a DM like this. And then you're like, fuck it. We're doing okay. We're doing okay.
Yeah, we're doing great.
We're doing okay.
Yeah, these DMs, those comments, they keep me going.
Yeah.
I like them.
And when I say we, I mean me. When I bitch about the numbers because I'm a perfectionist. Tate's like, we're doing great. Even if we have our 2 followers, it's fine. And I'm like, oh no. And it's only because I want us to give value, So hopefully you guys see value in this. But anyway, let's get going. I want to read a couple of these before we get into it.
Right.
So this first one said, I had to message you and thank you for the amazing advice you guys gave me on the new podcast episode. I was the last question you guys went over and I truly wasn't expecting mine to be read, but the advice you guys gave me brought me to tears. I've had to process it all day yesterday and today. I just could not be more grateful to you both and also to Drew and Dason. You have all given me so much courage to do better for myself, which has been the hardest, in all caps, thing to do. At least it feels like it. I hope you guys know that you do so much more for us fans than you will ever know. I will forever keep the advice you guys gave me so close to my heart. All of you are saving lives every day, whether you know it or not. I'm forever grateful to you all and can never thank you enough for making me feel seen. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I want to cry. Reading out that out loud right now made me tear up.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to read your name because these were all DM'd to our, our Instagram. So I'm not reading names, but if you feel so inclined and you don't mind, go ahead and say, hey, that was me. And anyway, we just want you to know, thank you. That keeps us going.
Yeah.
We love you guys so much. And literally, this is the whole reason why we decided to do this.
I didn't, when we first started it, I wasn't sure what was going to happen. I wasn't sure how we were going to do it, what our niche was going to be. And then all of a sudden it turned into the internet parents, right? And then
the favorite internet parents.
Yeah. Our favorite internet parents, right? So
that's because you were too busy trying to calm your nerves. You're like, I don't know what we're doing, and God damn it, this was my idea.
No. Like
there's no turning back.
No. What I was gonna say is, so it turned into that, and then we're doing it, and then we're getting these.
I know.
It's like what it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying?
It's bananas, man.
I know. That's why I said thank you so much.
So whoever that was who wrote it, and I specifically cut the name out so I didn't read it on accident because I spoil secrets all the time. If you want to keep a secret, don't tell me because I forget. My brain, my zany brainy. Okay, the next one says, I watched one of your episodes about confidence and shooting for your dreams. I just want to let you all know I finally started a baking page and I stopped listening to my biggest hater, my brain. Ha ha. Feeling brave and happy, y'all. Knock it off. Knock it off.
What are you trying to do? Make me feel good?
Oh my gosh. What? Like you have feelings and want to tell us something really nice
What
and make
the
us
heck?
cry? Anyway, that was so sweet. And I love that so much.
Thank you so much.
And high fives for the baking page.
Yes.
I wish you would have dropped the title here because we would have promoted the shit out of
Yeah,
that. So,
and we will if you want to.
if this was you, drop your name and your website and or your it just says baking page. So I don't know if it's a website or a social media site.
Yeah.
Drop it if you're so inclined.
Yeah. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you for that. And this one said, this one was back from when we started promoting your nails and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Also, new nail alert.
Yeah, check them out.
Zoom in. Okay. This is, we're going to the Moana 2 red carpet premiere next week. And so we went like a little Polynesian. So that was really cool. But anyway, this one was from.
Shout out Michelle.
Yes. Shout out Michelle. Whoop, whoop. She doesn't listen to our podcast. Let's see if she comments. Because if she does, I'll eat my hat. And if she doesn't, I was right. But this one was talking about your nails when we first started promoting your nails. And by the way, you guys, we never mentioned this, but like when Tate first started getting his nails done, and we started talking about it on the podcast or doing shorts on YouTube, we got a lot of hate, right?
Yeah.
And of course, they're from, men who are, anyway, bunch of homophobes and just bigots and whatever.
Just bad people.
Yeah. And so my first instinct is to go in there and like, all right. I'm all like cracking my knuckles. I'm like, all right, I'm going to fuck these guys up. And then I just go, delete, report. And then I'm like, that's awesome. That feels way better, right? So anyway, this one came around that time. And this person said, I never leave comments on videos, but this one is a must. I've been watching you guys since episode 1. Woot woot for the day ones. And I love you guys. I feel all the love and acceptance. I recently took my younger sister to get her nails done and said, fuck it. If Tate can do it, I'm doing it too. So he got his nails done and said, I was really nervous to show my parents, but they thought it was super cool and they loved the design. Thank you, online parents, for helping me grow.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
I'm all, where's my tissue?
Freaking awesome.
That is so freaking cool. And guess what? You're setting a great example for your sister.
Big time.
And you know why? Because you're living your truth and you want to do it because it's fun.
Yeah.
And it's,
Makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Makes you happy.
Anyway, kudos to you.
Yeah, big time.
And we're so happy that you found comfort in what Tate's doing and went and did it yourself because it sounds like you've been wanting to try it.
Yeah,
So
it's all
kudos
good,
to
man.
you. All right, we got 2 more. This one says, hi, I've been watching your podcast since day 1. I'm a big fan of your daughters and the whole family. So shout out to our another day 1. I've been thinking about the episode of you guys talking about corporate jobs. And I remember Noelle talking about only staying for 2 years, 1 year to learn the job and the second year to master it. I took a payroll position last year. In parentheses, she put, I have 0 experience, but it was at the company I had already been working for a few months. Somehow I made the cut to move to this position. After watching today's episode, being reminded of what I wanted to accomplish this year and where I'm at, I finally decided to take a class and get a certification for payroll. You guys have inspired me to push through the anxiety and fear of trying something new. Wish me luck and can't wait to see y'all on tour. So obviously this was before tour.
Yeah.
But I love that because I love when people try new shit.
I know, man. Good for you.
What's the worst
Good
that could
for
happen?
you.
So you applied for a position in your company that you had no business being in. You got the job.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I'm going to level this shit up. Now you have a certification in payroll. Guess what? You can take that anywhere.
Yeah.
To any company.
Yeah.
And now you have experience under your belt.
Yeah.
And when you're ready to go and level up and get more money, get a bigger position.
Correct. You're doing exactly what Noel mentioned.
Exactly.
You're mastering it. You want to master it. So that's what you're doing.
And then when you master it, you get the fuck out and
Yeah,
go
you
off to
move.
somewhere else.
Keep moving.
And I love that.
So awesome.
Woo! I love all these
Congratulations.
success stories. It's amazing.
I know. So good to hear.
Okay.
I'm glad we were able to share it. That was
know.
before tour.
I know. So, and then this one says, I love AF5 Thursdays. Yas. I've been ensconced in Loud, which is our daughter's book, Loud. I adore it so much, y'all, and your family are gifts to this world. My win this time is I won a big scholarship, and I'm using that to go back to university this fall after having dropped out back in 2019. I put my ass into gear to transfer back into that school, and now that the semester's about to start, it finally feels like I did it. Love y'all, in all caps. And I'm like, I'm so glad our lovely fans made these because I'm going to have to use them.
So awesome.
Isn't that awesome?
Good for you.
And she got fired up because we've just been talking about what we know.
Good for you.
Right?
Good for you.
I love that so much. So anyway, love and kisses to all of you guys who sent these in. And
Keep doing it.
We keep saying it, and only a few of you guys are taking us up on it.
That's all good.
But if you DM us your wins, no matter how small you might think they are, we will be your biggest cheerleader.
Yeah, we want to celebrate you.
And if you tried something that you've heard on our podcast and it's working out for you, or you're getting the courage to do something, send that in too.
Please.
Yeah. Ooh, I love it so much. Cool. You guys are awesome. Okay, so now we're gonna jump right in. Okay.
That just fucking sets the mood. Right?
I know. Right?
Man, let's get into it now.
So good. Okay, we're going to try and get through these. There's 7 topics. Full disclosure, these topics are not ours. We borrowed them from the famous Mel Robbins. If you don't know who she is, look her up. She is freaking amazing. She was one of my, I didn't even know who she was, and I just kind of happened upon one of her books, and then I just read it, and I read everything else that came out, and she has a new book out right now called Let Them. All right. I haven't read it yet, but she had talked about these 7 topics that you're basically not responsible for.
Yeah.
Right. And we have, some family members and some friends that are like kind of going through it. And I guess, looking back, it usually happens before the holidays, right? People break up, people fight, friendships are strained, family relationships are strained, and it always, for whatever reason, happens around September, October, November, December, right? Right before the holidays. And I don't know if it's the stress from the holidays or what, or if it's the full moon, or I don't know what it is, but it always kind of happens around this time.
Okay.
So when I saw this post by Mel Robbins, I'm like, oh my gosh, this applies to everybody that we know that is going through it right now. So if you're going through it, this will probably apply to you too.
It'll make a lot of sense.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're just going to talk about 7 things that Mel Robbins brings up. And I'm presuming it's in her book. I haven't read her book yet, but I am going to get her book. But we'll just go ahead and get started. So the first topic she talks about is you are not responsible for other people's happiness. Right? You ever have that person who just for whatever reason, whether it's a platonic relationship or a romantic relationship, and they're just always like never happy, right?
Yeah.
So I had this friend back when I was in college, and she would never be happy with anything that I did. So for whatever reason, I kind of fell into this like, oh, I don't want her to be mad. Like, she wants me to come over for dinner. Her mom is making dinner, but she lives 30 minutes from me, and she wants me to drive over at 5 p.m. on the busy highway. And I'm like, okay, well, and she's like, so you're coming, right? And I'm like, Jesus Christ, yes, I'm coming. Because I'd rather just go and inconvenience myself to make that person happy. Because at the time, it just seemed easier. Now looking back, I'm like, what a crock of shit.
Yeah.
I'm over here trying to make this person happy, but what about my happiness?
Right. Yeah, we had the girls.
Yeah.
So we had a family. She didn't have no.
Yeah, she was single, and that's another thing. For those of you out there who might connect with this, that's a great point, honey.
Yeah.
You're married and have kids.
Yeah.
And one of your best friends doesn't. Single, no kids, had never had kids, but they expect you to live that single life too.
Yeah.
Right. You both started out single.
Yeah.
You kind of moved on.
Yeah.
That person hasn't. And then they're like, you know what I mean? They're like, hey, want to go to this house party? Hey, fuck no, I don't.
Yeah.
I'm fucking tired. I'll give you another example. This friend of mine that I always kind of I don't know how it started. It was like, she's like, oh, you're going to wear that? And she was always bougie, like always wanted to have designer shit.
Yeah.
And I'm on the struggle bus, man. I'm broke, 2 kids, going to college, and 3 jobs at the same time, by the way, while you were away at college. So I would spend money I didn't have because she just kind of implied that, hey, you need to dress up, and it made me feel some type of way. And I think that's because of the way I grew up so poor. And I'm like, oh, she's not going to get me on that. I'll show her. And I go buy shit I can't afford. And I'm like, just to what? Make her happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sacrifice your happiness.
Sacrifice my wallet. My kids don't need to eat today. They ate yesterday. They'll be good. But that's what I'm talking about. Making someone else happy or trying to, I don't know if it was impress them, but I think for me more so it was to make her happy.
Sure.
And dimming my light so she didn't feel bad. Does that make sense? So when I get a promotion, I would tell her and she'd be like, oh, that's great. But was it just given to you or did you earn it? Kind of like that,
Yeah, I remember those. I remember those stories, those conversations with you.
Yeah. Let me remind you, remember this? I was pregnant with Donovan.
Yeah. Well, you knew her before.
No, I know. Yeah, we went to college together.
Yeah.
So
you've known each other for a minute.
Forever, right? She was actually, well, I can't say.
Yeah.
That's too much information because I don't want to out her. But, and by this time we've already made up and we're fine, but we don't talk anymore. But anyway, I was pregnant with Donovan.
Mm-hmm.
I was 8 months pregnant. It was pouring rain. And she's like, hey, you got to go to this house party with me? And I'm like, nah, I'm good. And she got super mad at me. And she's like, well, you know, this pregnancy isn't fun for me anymore. And I was like, bitch, what? Since when was it supposed to be fun for you? That was the last nail in the coffin. I couldn't take it anymore. And I'm like, your happiness is not going to supersede me and the health of this baby in my belly going to a fucking house party. Are you high? You know what I mean? So have you ever tried to make people happy and like ahead of your happiness? And then
all the time. And I think because that's
he says
the way
all the time, and he looks at me. I'm all, why are you looking at me? What the hell?
I think for me, it's because of the way I was raised. We always prioritize others before ourselves.
Yeah.
Right. And to the detriment of ourselves. A lot of times. That's the way I was raised. And I didn't learn any of that stuff until later. Yeah. And then I come to understand my feelings are valid. Yeah. You like, just because of the way I was raised, none of that stuff mattered. And then all of a sudden you start to understand, well, I matter. Yeah. What I say matters. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so, you start to shift and you start to understand it. And it's like, because if you got to think about it, man, like, if you're not happy, like, how are you going to keep, you know what I'm saying? If you're a person that keeps giving, you're going to, what do they call that? Emptying the cup, right?
You can't pour from an empty cup. So you can't pour into other people and lift them up if you're depleted. Yeah. And that's what this means. Yeah. That's what Mel Robbins is talking about here. And I thought it was brilliant. Yeah. Right? Because everyone has done that at some point in their life. You know what I mean? And if you're still doing that, hey, remember, you matter too, and so do your feelings. Okay. I'm not telling you to go to that person and like guns a-blazing and you're like, no. You know, not like that. No. Just, you know, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, you know how to do it.
Yeah. Okay. So topic number 2 says you are not responsible for making people understand your choices. Let them be confused. What do you think about that?
Well, it just makes me think about how we raised the girls. Yeah. And how people didn't quite agree with it or didn't jive with it, family members, and I quite didn't care. Yeah. I didn't care because they're my kids. Yeah. And I'm going to do it the way we're going to do it the way we see fit. And that's the way I thought, you know, that's what that makes me think about. You know? Yeah. Like,
and when she says, let them be confused or let them stew in their own juices, that's a Noelle quote, right? You don't owe them an explanation at all, no matter what it is. So if you choose not to go to university and you want to go to a trade school or you want to go straight to work, that's your choice. Yeah. Okay. Because it's your life. Yeah. If, like, for instance, we used to cuss and we used to curse all the time. Well, we still do. Not used to.
Maybe not as much.
Maybe not you, but me, I can't help it.
We're at least a little bit more conscious of it. We're not. It used to be worse, for sure.
For you, yeah. I wish I could say that. I wish I could say that, but the F word is my favorite word. I'm sorry. Just let me live. But we used to get shit all the time from other parents. Sure. And the ballsy ones that would come up to me at a PTA meeting, which I hardly went to the PTA meetings. I'm just like, what do you need? And I would just give money because I don't want to be there with all those people, right? But, you know, I used to get shit all the time about, you curse like that all the time in front of your kids. I'm like, fuck yeah, I do. Because to me, and we talked about this before, they're just words, right? And of course, you got to, you know, explain to your kids and, hey, you know, and I used to tell my kids, hey, if you can do it in the car. If you're really mad, let it rip, right? In the car. As soon as you open that door, hey, zip it, right? And it makes me laugh because my friend Avery Woods, you know, she, taught her little girl how to flip people off and not just the camera, right?
Sure.
And, oh man, she got so much hate for that. And I went right in there and I was like, oh, that's awesome. Take pictures, frame them, right? Because when you don't have your thumb on your kid's head all the time, what does it grow? Independence, self-confidence. Yeah. Now, time and place, obviously, but
I was just laughing a lot because cursing. I remember when Donovan said, "Hey, is it okay if I curse?"
Yeah.
I remember it. And then I remember us going, yeah, it's okay. I don't mind.
Yeah.
And then he starts getting like dramatic and emphasizes the word.
Yeah.
And he says it like once, and he's like, you can see it in his face, like, yeah. He says it twice. He says like three. I say, hey, that's enough.
Yeah, because he's like a car going, like he just takes off and like just,
Yeah.
You're like, hey, take it down.
Yeah.
Like, he just wanted to do it because he was like, he felt freedom,
Yeah.
So anyway, your choices are your choices, whether it's with your kids, with your school, with your life, with your job, with the, topic you want to take in, or the subject you want to take in college, or whatever the case may be. Those are your choices. And you parents out there, let your kids tell you their choices. And if you see them going down towards an oncoming train, you gotta sit them down and say, hey, this is why that's probably not a good choice. Right? But
let's
have the conversation. Yeah, exactly. Okay, topic number 3. You are not responsible for managing someone else's emotions.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a good one.
I know.
It says, let them feel how they feel.
I know. Like,
give me an example.
Well, you're worried about what they're going to say. Like,
Yeah.
What if I tell them?
What if I tell them I'm gay?
Yeah. What if I tell them no?
Yeah.
Or what if I tell them I don't like him like that? Or you're always thinking, well, he's not going to like it. But here's the thing, man. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel.
Well,
right?
if that's how they feel.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Their emotions, you cannot control them.
Right.
Worry about the things you can control,
Yeah.
which are your own emotions and your own life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's a great point. So like, what if I'm coming out? What are they going to say? Listen, we said this before, as long as you're in a safe place, right? In that example, their emotions are going to be their emotions, and you cannot control them. What you can do is you can help them navigate it, but it's not your responsibility to manage those emotions.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah. So I know one of the biggest things is when I was younger, was going on a mission because being raised Mormon, I was expected.
Yeah.
It was like, you're going, and I remember it was a shock to my dad when I told him I didn't want to go.
Yeah.
And I remember him asking me why, and I said, because I don't think I'm ready. I haven't been going to church or whatever. And
You weren't active at the time.
yeah, I wasn't super active at the time, and I just don't feel like I'll be able to do a good job. And that was the truth, right?
Sure.
And then whatever, he was obviously pissed, but I couldn't control that emotion.
Right.
I could just tell him the truth, you know what I mean, and how it's going to eventually make me feel instead of
Well, and that literally goes with topic number 2. So 2 and 3 are together here, right? That's your choice. It's not your responsibility for making them understand your choice.
No. And
it's also not your responsibility for managing his emotions.
Exactly.
Because of your choice.
Yeah.
Right? So like, you guys can't control how other people act, It's kind of like when you go in the store and you see a kid flop down on the ground and start having a tantrum.
Yeah.
You're like, oh man.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't disciplined enough, right? But you can't control someone else's kid's emotions, or you know what I mean? So that's not your responsibility, right? Let them feel how they're going to feel. Good, bad, or indifferent, none of your business kind of thing, right? Okay, so topic number 4, right? You are not responsible for proving your worth to people who don't see it. This is a good one.
Let them underestimate you.
Let them underestimate you. Man, that punched me in the gut, because that was probably one of my biggest contention points, right? I grew up with such a shitty childhood, foster care, bouncing from house to house, being dropped off at people's homes I didn't even know because, the people who were supposed to be taking care of us wanted to go gamble and go to bars and shit like that. So like, just craziness, right?
Sure.
And then when we went to go live with my dad, he, I'll say it, he was very chauvinistic. and he only paid attention to my brother, which now everything's fine. You look back in hindsight, just generational trauma from generation to generation kind of thing. And that's how he was raised, that, boys are superior to women. And so for me, I thought, well, I tied my worth to my successes. So I'm like, okay, I have to be successful so that I could feel worthy of my dad's love and attention. Right. It never works out, guys. The only thing I got from that was I was a kick-ass athlete. I was a kick-ass student, and I made a lot of friends because I never wanted to go home. So I was not responsible for proving my worth to people who didn't see it, which was namely my dad, right? And he gravely underestimated me. He didn't think I was going to graduate from high school. He thought I would never get married and have a life of my own.
Yeah.
He thought I was going to depend on him forever. When I told him I wanted to go to law school, he laughed at me, And he's like, for what? You think you're smart enough to go? Stuff like that. And, and don't get me wrong. He's not like that anymore. He's like, he's made his amends and whatnot. But, and he lived and learned. And quickly did he learn that he underestimated me. Right? And so it took me a long time to kind of like come to, what do you call it? Peace with, hey, I don't have to keep doing that, because I took that and took it throughout my whole career too.
True.
You know what I mean? What about you?
Well, I this kind of reminds me of a relationship. A relationship. Like if you're in a relationship with someone and, you're trying to, constantly show why you guys need to be together, and they're not seeing it, but yet you overextend more. Can you see it? Can you see it? You overextend more. Can you see it? And they still don't see it.
Yeah.
You're wasting your time.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to see it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And they don't deserve to see it.
And they don't deserve to see it. So get out of it. That's what this reminds me of. A relationship, being in a relationship.
Yeah.
I've been in them. I know what it feels like. I know what happens and what I've done. And this reminds me of being in relationships.
Yeah. And you're talking about, you're talking about a romantic relationship?
Yeah, romantic relationship. Sorry.
Yeah, no. And I just wanted to clarify, because I wanted to talk about platonic relationships. Yeah. Like the friend I told you about, right?
Yeah.
Like I felt like I was always having to prove myself to her. Even though a lot of that was on me, because of how I grew up, and like people looked at me and made fun of me for not having the designer clothes or wearing the same shit every week and all that. Like for me, that, in being in a platonic relationship or a friendship, right? If people take advantage of you or they take you for granted,
right,
that's not good.
No.
Right? So, and like always having to prove yourself to them. Oh, I can buy these things, even though I couldn't, or I shouldn't have. Why do I care?
Yeah.
Right. So you get to a point where you're like, don't care, that kind of thing. So if you're in a relationship, whether it's platonic or it's romantic, if that person doesn't take you, or if that person takes you for granted, they don't deserve you.
Yeah.
And I know it's easier said than done for us, but like, you deserve to be around people who care and want to celebrate every nook and cranny of your life. Right. And if you don't, and you feel like you're always giving, and they're always taking.
Exactly.
You need to evaluate that.
Yeah. You need to be with someone who reciprocates. You know what I mean? Whatever you're doing, they do it back.
100%. Right. Okay. Topic number 5. I hope you guys are jiving with this, because when I read these, I was like, oh, this is such a good topic for a podcast.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Now, topic number 5. You are not responsible for meeting everyone's expectations. Let them be disappointed. Okay. Sometimes as parents, we have these unrealistic expectations of our kids. And let me tell you why. Because we fell short in our own life.
Of course.
And so we expect better from our kids.
Well, we want, So,
right?
we're whatever we were short of, we try to make up for it through our kids.
Right. Well, that's living vicariously through your kids. Well, we did not do that.
I don't mean it in that way, but
we have expectations, right?
Yeah.
You must go to college, right? And that's because that's what we were taught. But like when I was growing up, no one gave a shit if I went to school or not. Like, just go get a job and bring home money and give it to me.
Yeah.
That's how I was brought up. Same, right? College was never like
No.
a priority, but I surrounded myself with mentors at school, like teachers and like my one counselor that literally went from high school. And then when I was a freshman in college, he transferred to the college I went, and he was my counselor there too. So it was like, oh my gosh. So shout out to Mr. Acuna.
I wasn't even going to go to college.
No, I know.
When I was done high school, I was just going to get a job. That's it. I'm done. I don't want to go back to school.
And
I was like,
who made you go to school?
you did.
Right?
Yeah.
I didn't make you go to school. I just said I can't be with anybody who doesn't go to college.
Yeah.
Another expectation that was probably not the best, but it worked out in the end, right? It was good for both of us.
It was.
But we as parents, and I don't mean me and you specifically, but generally parents have high expectations for their kids because they always want better for their kids that they didn't have, right? So for us, we did go to college, but I wanted to keep that ball rolling.
Yeah.
Wanted to keep that generational thing going of education. And so we told our kids, college is not an option.
Yeah. Constant.
Not going to college is not an option for like Dason and Drew. And I said, you just need one degree and you're not coming home until that degree is in your back pocket.
Yeah.
Then after that, if you want to go for secondary and all that, degrees, that's on you.
Yeah.
I'm totally down. But you will finish college.
Yeah.
That was like a non-negotiable for us.
Right.
But it's not because we didn't do it, because we did.
Yeah.
Right. And I did that 3 times over, right? 4 times over.
It was just to set them up.
It was to set them up so that they can continue and they can have an edge on life, right?
Yeah.
Now, when COVID happened and everyone could take off being an influencer, now everything you learn in college, you can literally learn on Google. Like, I'm not even joking, on YouTube. Like, you can do all that stuff. So you don't need to live up to everyone's expectations, right? But there's a caveat to that you also should, if you have to, or if you're going to listen to someone's, advice and they're going to push you, maybe you need it. That could be it too, because you needed it.
Oh, I did.
You not going to college afterwards and just wanting to go to work.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, you needed college.
No, I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was the best thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the.
Because you like to fart around a lot.
Well, it was one of the best decisions. One of the best. There's a bunch of them, but that's one. That's in the top 5 for sure. I chose because I said, okay, I'll go to school.
And that's what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Every situation is different.
True.
But sometimes you need the kick in the ass from someone and their expectations, because their expectations might not be for themselves. They're for you.
Sure.
Right. So anyway, okay. Topic number 6.
She loves to go opposite, doesn't she?
What?
No, you always do that. You always do the other end too.
Oh.
You want to talk.
I'm trying to cover all my bases, because not everybody goes to the left. Some people go to the right. Okay. So, just want to make sure I'm touching all our bases. All right. You're talking about me being devil's advocate?
Yeah.
Well, it's true. How many out there right now are listening to this and you're like, well, I know I should go or like let's say you're really good at something.
Yeah.
Like, let's just say you're really good in art, but you're fucking around, and like Donovan took a gap year and did nothing the whole gap year and just was living his best life. And you know what? That's okay. We learned from Jason and Drew. Not everybody's, cut out for college.
Yeah.
But then I was like, and you don't have a job? Nah, come on. Ding, ding, ding. Your time is up. What are we doing? So in that regard, sometimes
vacation is over.
You know how they say vacay mode on, right?
That was him.
Yeah, that was him. And then mommy walked over and go, vacay mode off. And I flipped the switch. Listen, get up. Get in the car. We're going to go fill out applications. Right? So in that regard, that's why I want to cover all our bases.
Yes, I understand.
Sometimes you're lost.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't know what you want to do. And it takes someone like me going, want to do this? You're really good at that. Nah. Want to do this? No. All right. And we went through a whole bunch of different subjects before we came up on culinary school, which, by the way, sending love to Donovan. He did not get into his culinary school.
It's fine.
It was a small program. Only 35 students were available, but I made him do a bunch of research, and we're going to go over it tonight, and we're going to go over everything because he's going to culinary school.
Yeah, there's still a small possibility you might get in January.
If someone drops out of that
just
program.
in case,
but we're not waiting for that. Mama's got a plan A, B, and C. So we're going to rock and roll, and he's going to be fine regardless.
Sure.
So in that regard, sometimes you might need a little swift kick in the butt. All right. Let's see. Oh, this is a good one. Ready? You are not responsible for rescuing people from their problems.
Yeah.
Let them learn from life.
Yeah.
Oh.
I always find myself in a situation where I'm that person. I don't mean to be.
What do you mean?
Like if I'm like, I remember when I was working, when I was in corporate America, I always seemed the guy that fall into that, like I would always, like, I'll be in the locker room, one of my buddies comes in and I go, hey man, why are you late? And then there's a drama.
Yeah.
And then so I have to sit down with him and I gotta listen to him. And you know what I'm saying?
Tate's like, why did I ask?
I was always that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know, because let me tell you guys something. For whatever reason, in our family, we are the magnets for people's fucking drama. Like, we're not in the drama.
No.
But people want to tell us their deepest, darkest secrets. And I barely know you. Like, I just met you yesterday.
Yeah.
And then this person's telling me they're cheating on their wife and this and that. And it's like, why? What about me makes you want to do that? Like, what about me attracts the people who just are dying to get it off their chest?
Is it this face? Is it the mustache? Because I'll shave it.
Is it the hat? Because sometimes this hat makes people angry. Where's that from?
It's from Uncle Buck.
Yeah.
You think it's the hat?
You think it's a hat? Because this hat is known to make people angry. I don't know what it is, right, you guys? And like the weirdest shit happens to us every time, whether we're going to a restaurant, whether they're going to a ball game, whether we're going in an elevator or a hotel.
You know what I wish? I wish we wrote them all down to remember them.
I know.
Because there's so many.
There's so many, but there's ones that really are core
That's
memories.
what I'm saying.
So
But
I don't know if the girls talked about this on their podcast.
I don't know.
Let me tell you something.
Just share.
I'll share one.
Okay, one.
Okay.
We'll share one.
When I tell you weird shit happens to us all the time, I'm not joking. Okay.
Yeah.
So this one happened like a year and a half ago. Drew was invited to speak at several different panels at Playlist Live in Florida, right?
Yes.
In Orlando. So we go to our floor, and for all of the guest speakers, right? We had a whole wing of the hotel that we were staying in, and whatever floor you're on, there was security literally on a chair sitting out there as soon as the elevators open,
yeah,
right?
they're right there, bang.
And we got there. When we got there, it was like 2 a.m, right? Remember?
Yes.
So this lady was like, I need your passes. And we're like, registration's not open. We can't get our badges, all access badges, you know?
Yeah.
We can't get them. And there's like, I don't know, how many of us were there? Were 5 of us?
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 of us. And we're like,
no Donnie. But everyone else.
yeah, Donnie didn't go with us because he was still in high school. And the lady was like, well, and I'm like, well, can we show you our ID? Like, we have our keys how would we get keys to the rooms? And there's 5 of us standing here. We
With
all have
luggage.
keys with a fuck ton of luggage. And Drew was about to lose her ever loving mind. And so finally, I don't know, I talked to the lady and she finally said, oh, okay. I go, hey, walk with me. What? Bertha, walk with me. Oh, beep. And I showed her, I opened the door and she was like, all right, you guys can go. I was like, Jesus Christ, right? So that's what we were dealing with. Every day was a different shift. Someone was on shift.
Well, because the playlist hadn't really started yet.
Yeah, no, I know.
So then all those guys were showing up for work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So like we had every time we went back to the rooms, there was a different security guard, right?
Yeah.
But you guys, so we're in Orlando, Florida, where Disneyland, Disney World, right? There's water parks. And at the hotel we were staying at had a giant water park, right? And you look out the window, you can see the water park,
Yeah.
right?
It was pretty nice.
It was awesome,
View.
right? And it was hot as Hades, right? It was hot as Satan's asshole. I couldn't believe how hot and humid it was. But anyway, we're all coming up. Drew just did a bunch of panels. We ate lunch. And we're like, okay, it's nap time. We're going to go chill back in the room. Yeah. And then we had a party to go to that night, right? So we're all in the elevator together. Yeah. Me, you, Dason, Drew, and Peely, right? Yeah. And the fucking doors open, right? And when the doors open, there's a big window, right there, and there's just like a table with like flowers on it, right when the elevator doors open. This guy, this tall security guard, he was probably like in his 70s, maybe.
Yeah, he was older,
60s, late 60s. Sure.
Yeah.
And they were all wearing these like nice coats, right? And blazers. When the door opened, I'm standing in front. Everybody else is behind me. The door opens. I see this guy with these little tiny binoculars, right?
Yeah.
And he's like this, looking down at the water park, and it just opened, and there's nothing but a bunch of girls down there. Yeah. And he's like, And then the door opens and I see him, and I don't know why I said it, but as soon as the door opened, I go, see something good down there? And he had his glasses like this. He's like, oh. He put him back in his coat pocket all fast, and he goes, hey guys, yeah, go ahead and go. No shaking us down for our IDs or badges, nothing. Oh yeah, go ahead. Because he was so embarrassed because he was being a fucking perv, right? And as soon as we turned the corner, Drew goes, Mommy, what did you say? I was like, I don't know. It just came out. It was funny. And they were like, oh my God. And then we immediately called Alex and told her. And she goes, why does that shit always happen to you guys? Anyway, so that's one we still talk about that to this day.
I know.
It was actually it was over 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So funny.
I know. It was out of control. That whole trip was fun, but
yeah.
That was out of control.
We have so many stories like that.
Yeah.
Like we catch people doing stuff all the time. Or stuff happens to anyway, you get the gist. Holy shit. Anyway, we should do a whole podcast on that. In fact,
unrescue people from their problems.
Exactly. Oh yeah, going back to you're not responsible for rescuing people from their problems. Let them learn from life. Yeah. I don't know how we got off on that tangent.
It's
but
okay.
Who else do you know for rescuing people? Like you ever have a friend, right? Who maybe she's dating a guy and he's just ass, right? He's the worst. And they break up and then he comes crawling back to her, but he's like sweet talking her and love bombing her or whatever. And she goes back to him. And you're like, okay, you're going to give her a pass, right?
Yeah.
Then she's like, he cheated on me and I found this and this. You're like, fuck that guy. She's like, yeah, fuck that guy. And he's like, I'm sorry, baby. She's just okay.
Yeah.
And then you're like, you know what? Don't come to me anymore. Every time you I keep telling you this guy's a piece of shit and you keep going back to him. That's what we're talking about.
Right.
You can't rescue people from their problems. They got to learn, Yeah. It's like when Kevin Hart goes, you gonna learn today.
This could be hey, that's good. This could be similar to because I love that show Intervention.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I learned so much about the drug abuse and the addicts and it's a disease. It's literally a disease.
It's hereditary too.
Yeah. And how many people are involved in that disease.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest ones is the one that's the contributor, which is typically a parent.
Yeah, the enabler.
Yeah, which is typically a parent and they're just like, I just give him money.
Yeah.
I don't want him to yell anymore, or I just give him money because I don't want him to go to jail. I don't want him
to go be homeless.
I just let him do it in the house.
Yeah.
That's this.
It's so hard when you're a parent.
I know.
It's so hard. And sometimes it's the kids with the parents. The parents are like alcoholics or drug addicts.
Yeah.
But I hate watching that show.
I know.
I hate watching that show and I hate watching Hoarders. Like it's too much for my brain.
Super depressing. I know.
But he's like, I know.
But
Click,
it's
next episode.
Click, it's interesting.
Sometimes I'll wake up he can't sleep and I'm like, good night. I'm out. And then I'll wake up with someone like doing a crack pipe. I'm all, what are we watching? What are you watching? He's like, oh, Intervention. It's the newest one. I'm like, oh my
it's
God.
So good.
I'm a fan. Can't. But anyway, you can't save people from their problems.
Right.
And if you're a parent and your kid is going through it, and sometimes you just got to let them learn.
Yeah. It's sad. Mm-hmm. I mean, I can only imagine.
Yeah. I'll give you an example for our kids, right? Jason's freshman year at University of Oregon.
Yeah.
Go Ducks, right? My whole thing was, if I'm paying for your education, you will not get anything less than a B. Everything will be A's and B's across, again, expectations, right? She was the first one out of the nest.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't you go fucking around over there in Oregon. You better, what you're there for, right? You got a job to do. Let's do it. And she's like, yeah, right. And then they were on the quarter system. First quarter, right? Yeah. She gets all A's and B's except for one D.
There was one D.
Because here's the thing. I said, listen, I'll pay for your education. No problem.
Yeah.
But if you don't finish, or if you get back anything less than a B,
sure,
you're paying for it, not me. Yeah. The end. Like your dad and I, we're not paying for that, for your tomfuckery. Yeah. Like you go to school, you have a job, have fun, go do your thing, have a great time, have a blast. Yeah. Your only job in life is to get good grades. Yeah. That's it. If I'm paying for it, I'm not paying for your party. Like, and you know why? I learned this from my brother. My brother was a frat boy. He went to UC Davis. Then he ultimately ended up going to USC and getting his master's. But like, my dad paid for that, and he didn't care. My dad would hawk shit just to like give him money to go fuck around. And I said, not on my watch, right? So her first quarter, she got a D, and I said, guess what? Oh, and then it came time to like register for the next quarter, and she's like, oh yeah, like no, I have to pay for it. And I go, okay, cool. So like you owe me for that D, and that's $3,000 or $3,500. So I need a commitment from you that you're going to pay me and pay that whole money off. Otherwise, I'm not paying for this school anymore. You thought I was fucking around? I'm not fucking around. And she was like, what? I said, I don't know what about that. You thought I was kidding. And she was like, oh, and guess what? Pay me back every penny. Every penny. And asked me if she got another C, D, or F. Nope.
Took care of business.
A's and B's across the board all the way till she was done.
You know, that kid surprised the hell out of me when we dropped her off.
No, I know.
Oh, she surprised. I was so proud.
I know.
You know, I thought for sure, dude, 3 days tops, she's going to call and say she's done. Come pick her up.
Yeah. Well, she did, but I said, nah. And she would call me every day. She tells this story to me all the time. She's like, yeah, I'm going to call my mom every day because, you know, she's like a nervous Nelly. She's just like, Tate.
Yeah.
Oh, you call me every day. And then finally, by the fifth day, she called me and I said, hey, haven't you made any new friends yet? And she's like, oh my gosh. I was like, hey, go make some friends and call me back when you make a friend. Sometimes you need the tough love, right? Anyway, and she did. She made some great friends. Joined rugby.
Great experience.
Yeah. So anyway, don't judge me. She turned out awesome, you guys. But it's having those people in your life, whether your kids, your friends, your significant other, right? People that you love. You're not responsible for rescuing them.
No.
So quit putting that pressure
Burden.
on yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You can only do so much. Right? Before you start emptying your cup. You know what I mean? Like,
and then what's that going to cost you?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So, okay. And the last topic, you guys, I can't believe we're like really on pace here today. I love this. Not too many brain blasts. In fact, I don't think I've had a brain blast. That was a brain blast. Oops. Okay, moving on.
You just ruined it.
I ruined my goddamn streak. I almost went a whole podcast without a brain blast.
Because it's going to come.
Topic number 7. You are not responsible for managing everyone and everything around you. Where are my Virgos at? Where are my Sagittarians at? Because I know that's me. It's just, you just have that. For me, it's just innate. It's something that I just feel like I have to do. Like nothing's going to go right unless I do it. And then if I have to do everything, I bitch about it. Why do I have to do everything? You know? And then when someone tries to do it, and you're like, you're not doing it right.
Give it to me.
I can't help it. You know? Oh, it was the worst too for me when the kids were doing projects and they were little.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at them putting stuff on all crooked. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Just let me do it. Let me do it. And then you know what happened? That blew back in my face because then they would wait till the night before a project was due. Remember Donovan when he had to do the planets? And he goes, by the way, I forgot to tell you. And I'm like, what? And we're at Walmart. Thank God at the time Walmart was open 24/7. And I was over there. I was like, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And, I'm there by myself yelling at my, mumbling.
I was there.
Yeah.
In the mission house.
Oh my gosh. How many of you guys had to do missions when you were like build missions? If you're that's probably a California thing because we had to do the California missions, you know, but every kid had to do one. And for whatever reason, it was always the night before. I don't know why. But, and I know why, because I'm like, let me just do it. Like they started it, and I'm like, and Dason, oh man, she got me. She got my ass every year with any project because she would I think she would do it on purpose and make things all crooked, and then my eyes going.
You're like,
I'm all, just let me. You know what? Get out. Let me do it. Just get out, and I'll call you when I'm done. And then I would finish it. And then she's like, she's like laying back in her bed.
She'd come back, Mom, it's so good.
Yeah. Man, everyone's gonna be so jealous of my projects. And then I'm like, I'm such a dumbass. I'm like, I know, right? Dude, you're gonna crush it when you take it to school tomorrow.
You pick her up. How did it go?
Oh my gosh.
What did they say?
Feedback. Give me debrief me as soon as you get in the car. I want to know what happened. You know that movie Bad Moms?
Yeah.
At the very beginning when Mila Kunis is like, oh, trying to do
Yeah.
you know, a project and cook food and do the PTA. That was me. And have a full-time job. It was crazy. Crazy. So you are not responsible for managing everyone and everything around you.
No.
Let them do what they're going to do. Right?
It just goes back to what I've been saying, and that is you can only do so much as one person,
Yeah.
right? Like.
But what would you say to someone like me who like always like I have leadership skills.
Yeah.
I just kind of insert myself. I mean, at Josh and Mayo's party,
Yeah.
the first year,
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, I'm thinking, okay, we're the parents, and our kid is here for LGBTQ for the Pride party, right?
Yeah,
And I thought we were just going to sit there and chill. And Josh and Mayo were like, no, you have to be part of it. You have to be on a team. We're breaking up into teams. And I'm like, okay. And in my mind, I'm going, no, because I'm going to take over and my control issues and I need to manage everything and everyone around me. And I sure as shit did.
Yeah.
We had to do a drag show and they
Right.
gave us a bag full of like supplies. And then we had to make, you know, our own drag queen, like outfit or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, you go over there, get some tinfoil. You, I need you on rubber bands over here. You, I need you on toilet paper over here. And you grab that trash bag right there. And everyone's like, okay, yeah. And every year we won. And then last year we got there too late. So
Sure.
they already kind of teamed up. And I was just walking around going, I'm judging everyone. I'm all, and I was trying to help people. Hey, you know what they like? Make sure you choose. What's your song? What song are you going to come out to? And I'm still trying to manage everything.
You're consulting.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. I was like, I'm the consultant, you know, 2-time winner. So it's like RuPaul's Drag Race. I come back for the All-Stars. I'm like, I don't know why I'm like that, guys. Somebody help me. But what would you say to someone like me if I said, I'm trying to manage everything? What would you say to someone like me who just can't help it?
Well, I would say you can't do everything. You can't. You're going to need help, and I'll help you.
But you know me, I'm like, yeah, I can. Oh, yeah? Watch me. What number was that? Let them underestimate you. Topic number 4. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I think essentially what she's trying to say here is be wary of where how you give to others or spend your time or give or empty your cup.
Like, just be aware of, like,
Yeah, be wary of it. Be wary of it, because while it's a good deed.
Well, weary means like sad and scared and like whatever. Be aware.
Be aware of it. Yeah. So while giving and helping others and doing and taking initiative is a great thing, it can be taxing. It can be like just mentally exhausting. Right. So I think that's just my personal opinion as I read it. That's what I'm thinking Mel Robbins is talking about.
Yeah.
Be aware of it and know that you can't function on an empty cup.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, but again, someone like me.
Sure. Yeah.
That's really hard, you guys, you know, but you'll feel it because like I said, we've had, you know, family and friends like kind of going through it this season,
Sure.
if you will. And it pains me because I want to help everybody.
Yeah, we all do.
And I know I can't, and I know I absorb that, and that's not good for my mental health. So I can only do what I can do. And then everything else is just like, it's just got to be, the universe will take care of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then that I've had to work really hard on knowing that what I've done the best I can with, I gave it all I got, like with regards to helping people or helping a project or doing something. And whatever happens after that
Exactly.
is none of my business.
No. Right.
You know what I mean?
You can't control it.
It's not on me. I can't control it. I can't control emotions.
Nope.
The outcome, I can't control it. I can only worry about the things I can control,
Yeah,
which is
your
myself.
own actions. Yeah, exactly.
So if you're like me and you're type A, you're a Virgo. Who else is like that? Sagittarians. I know there's other people. I think Aquarius, maybe. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. We need structure and we need, you know, we need control. I think that's what it is. So when you learn to give up some control that you shouldn't be controlling in the first place, you'll be a lot lighter, guys. So anyway, I think that's it.
That's it. That's our last topic.
Yeah. So Mel Robbins rocks, you
Thank you.
guys. I'm going to, thank you for letting us borrow your 7 topics and just kind of put our own spin on it and our own take on it. But it's like doing a movie review.
I know.
So maybe we'll start a book club. But I am definitely going to get that on Audible, her newest book. You know what I mean? So it's always good to sharpen the saw. So anything else?
No, man.
No?
It was really good.
It was
It
good.
was really good. I just couldn't believe how I can relate, how much I can relate to every single topic
Yeah.
and understand them,
Yeah.
especially at my age.
At your old ass age. All right, you guys, that's episode 47 in the books. Thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you like, follow, and what is it? Subscribe, right? If you're on
Share.
YouTube, and share it, or now Spotify. You can watch us on Spotify. Yeah, and we are excited because we're going into episode 48, and we are excited.
Thanks for joining us.
Anyway, thank you guys for joining us. We love you guys so much.
Love you guys.
Keep the DMs coming.
Yes,
if you
please.
tried something that you got inspired by something we've said on any of our episodes, please share it with
Please
us
share.
so we can share it with others. Okay? Because you too might inspire others.
Exactly.
And we want to pay it forward. All right? All right. We'll see you guys next time. Love you. Bye.
Bye. Hello. Is it Donnie? Hello.
We're fighting in the front yard right now. I can't take you anymore. Jesus Christ.
Hello.
I have shit to do. Let's go.
Hello. Sorry.
I want to take this candle and I just want to put it. No, I want to put it under your beard and just set it on fire.
And then you're going to pour the hot wax, but instead you want to
No.
light me on fire.
I didn't say hot wax for some sexy time.
No, you pour the hot wax on your leg. Stop.
Now I get to make you embarrassed.
Stop.
No, I
please.
just want, like, if this is the candle, I just want to put it right here and just watch it like catch on fire.
It sounds like fucking burning leaves at first. Huh?
Yeah, it's all crackling and you're all,
What is that?
smells like something's burning. Your fucking chin's on fire.
Locked in.
Oh my God, shut the hell up.
Come on.
All right, hold on. I'm trying to see something. All right, I'm ready. Ready? Hello?